Can everybody see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, so I'll start with my presentation. So today I'm going to talk about intellectual property and in particular area of life sciences research and what are the key I would say how to understand intellectual law, and so that's the terminology I will explain first, and then I'll take an example of integration of research and patent law in terms of when we talk about microbiome research. So these two topics I will cover. First one will be to introduce about patent law, intellectual property, and then microbiome in terms of patent, and how can we use the intellectual property knowledge in terms of research area of microbiome. Here is just disclosure. This presentation is only for educational purposes, no commercial interest. Before I go, again, as I explained, I will talk about intellectual property rights, in specific patents, overview, key considerations, followed by microbiome research and patents. So what is intellectual property? It's basically the way we have any kind of property, whether it's land or anything, a person has a right. So same way intellectual property rights are the rights given to an inventor or a person who has done something unique, new, novel, and so these are special rights. Okay, so how these intellectual property rights are categorized? Basically, intellectual property rights are characterized in 4 categories. One is patent, another is trademark, trade secret, and copyrights. When we talk about patents, they are the most versatile and most valuable part of the research and R&D or innovation. And actually, they are the right to exclude others from making, using, offering for sale, or selling an invention, or importing the invention from outside a particular, I would say, country or jurisdiction. 3 types of patents are there. Basically, utility, with the patents which have some utility. Design, which is like, you can say a particular screen on iPhone might be in one of the representation of this. And okay, sorry for a typo here. Here is the plant patents. The plant patents are also the specific category of patents for plants which can be produced asexually. In that category, these patent rights are conferred. And I also would like to emphasize here one important aspect. The patents are not all over the world. Once you get a patent, it's a jurisdiction specific, means the country you apply for the patent, you get the patent rights in that particular country. And that decision is made based on where you want to do business, where you want to expand your invention area, where you want to start manufacturing. So you must have right for patents in particular area. Another is trademark. So trademarks are kind of word, name, symbol, or a device that is used for trade with goods, indicate the source of good and distinguish them from the goods of other. So if you go to any shop and you see a bottle of Coke versus a bottle of Pepsi, you will see different color and a different logo. This is one of the simplest example I can give you, where it says a particular symbol for a particular company. That trademark becomes valuable as the company grows, as it becomes older and more in demand the company is. So it takes time to establish this kind of trademark portfolio for a company, but the trademarks for Nike or Coke, or they are the one of the kind of very valuable trademarks in area of intellectual property. Another one is the trade secret. This is also like IP rights related to some confidential information that may be sold or licensed. So the key to here is that it has to have some commercial value. Trade secret example, you can see that KFC, they have a recipe that is very valuable for them, but that is trade secret. So trade secret has kind of your composition or any formula you have, but you don't disclose it to the public. But while in case of patent, you have to disclose all the information, every process in a detail enough that a person in that art or expertise should be able to reproduce that by reading it and doing an experiment on that. The another one is copyright. Copyright is basically is a protection provided to the authors for their original work of authorship. And that could be an written article, or it could be music or particular type of music or any other expression. So copyrights, one could be simple as you publish a paper and then the rights are given to, you transfer your rights to the publisher, and then a publisher has a copyright for your work. So it's important that, as I mentioned, that in terms of intellectual property, patents are the area where most of the law and detailed information is required from scientific perspective when we are doing any research as compared to the other intellectual property rights. So there are key factors or key terminology I would like to understand, audience here, that is important when we talk about patents or invention. So these four terms I will explain here. One is called invention. Another is prior art. It's something when we talk about research, what is the background information in that particular area? And if you have an invention, whether that invention is patentable, the patentability is defined by patent laws. And those laws are generally different from country to country. I will talk more about here about the US, how the US patent office sees it in terms of whether anything is patentable or not. And then another important factor is the inventorship. Inventorship is also a very important issue in terms of patent, and it's something different than the authorship in the manuscript, because the inventorship should come from the early stage where you conceive an idea about your thought process, your mental process, rather than just executing a simple experiment decided by other person in the group. So let's talk about invention. Invention is basically two-step process. One is conception. And what is conception? Is a complete idea when you think about it, and it's operable, means it has all the parts which you can connect. It gives rise to a particular, say it's a machine, then different parts, or it's a process of making something, then you have to have all the parts in mind and in a sequence to call it an invention. And when we say that conception is complete, when one person in ordinary skill in that particular area could construct the apparatus or invention without undue experimentation, means you are able to define it so nicely and clearly. And conception, as I mentioned, if you are the part of that conception area or conception team, then you are entitled for inventorship in that patent. Another part is, once you have conceived an idea, can you convert that idea into practice? As what that means is claimed invention work for its intended purpose. So prior art is something similar to background section of our research. And what that means is any information that prevents your idea to become patentable, or anything you have patented, but if something exists before that time of issue of patent, then that is the prior art, means something similar information. And the after 2013, what is considered prior art is basically anything before filing date of your patent. So in some places, basically, like in US, you have a 1 year grace period. If you have invented anything, you have publicly disclosed it, but you have 1 year within that you can file the patent. But in some other jurisdictions, this 1 year grace period is not available. The date it is filed, before that there should not be any prior art related to that. And what prior art is considered in terms of intellectual property is patents, research article, or some other documents. It could be presentations or any idea that is present on internet, similar idea. Public disclosure is one of the critical things in patent law. So when as a researcher, as a team, we are doing any R&D, so disclosing that idea to public is very critical. Before you do anything public disclosure, I think it's a good idea to file a patent, and then you can disclose your idea. So patentability, another important aspect of patentability, as I mentioned earlier, so for prior art, now what is patentable? That's the key thing. When you have an idea, you have conception, you think it's an invention, and is it patentable? So another important factor what you need is novelty. Novelty is a very critical factor in terms of patent when we talk about the law in terms of patentability. And in US, it is defined under Section 102 of the United States patent law. And what novelty means, that your invention and the already existing invention or prior art cannot be identical. So first important thing is that if something identical is in existence, means it's not patentable. Another question is that is a kind of a gray area in terms of non-obviousness, where even if it's not identical, but it cannot be close to pre-existing one, that a person in that particular specific area would consider this as a kind of, I would say that, okay, if you have done an invention and a person from other lab comes and say, you are talking to him and say that, okay, we are planning to do that thing, and this is our invention. And if he thinks that, okay, this is nothing new, then you might fall in category of non-obviousness. In terms of obviousness, because what happens, there are multiple pieces of information. When you combine them together, it might be similar to your invention. Another important category is patent eligible subject matter. This is very important area in terms of what you call is patent eligible. And it is defined under 101 of section of the US patent law. So anything, whosoever invents or discovers anything which is new and useful, it could be a process, it could be a machine, it could be a manufacturing method, or it's a composition of matter, could be like combination of some formula or something. Or if already of them are pre-existing, but you have a new and useful improvement over the existing thing, then you may obtain a patent. There are always exclusions when we talk about patent law. And patent law, when was designed, it was given to give some rights for the inventor or the person who is putting so much time and effort. But on the other hand, you cannot claim everything that is available and make it patentable and claim patent for that so that nobody else can use it. So in that thing, that exclusions include any natural phenomenon, any abstract ideas, any laws of nature, or practice of medicine. In particular, the surgical procedures, those are not patentable. Now, another important thing, as I mentioned, is inventorship. Any person who contributes to the conception of an idea is the part of that team, has a right for the inventor in that patent. And what that means is, once you are listed on a patent, all the members have equal right to use that patent. Another concept is when there are multiple inventors, we call that under category of joint inventorship. And when this applies, when two or more person works jointly for a particular area of invention, and even though they didn't work physically together at the same time, means if you're claiming, giving some part of your research and other person is giving different part of research, but you're claiming that together as a patent, then you have right for joint inventorship. And also, even the contribution of one is significant, say 90%, another is 10%, still you have right for that inventorship. And so each person each person not required to make the all contribution or contribution on every aspect of the claim of the patent. So even you contribute a single portion of that patent, you are eligible for inventorship. So as those were the critical things, I think I tried to explain our important aspects of understanding patents or intellectual property rights. I'm going to move now to one of the aspects of disrupting area of life sciences, where I think I have done some research in combining research and patent law area. So that is microbiome. So what I will talk about, understanding innovation and patent activity in area of human microbiome. And in particular, I'll talk a little bit about nutrition space. And also, how do we use this patent knowledge or from our data set to take some informed decisions in terms of taking from research to company to the translational aspects. So understanding innovation and patent activity in the area of human microbiome, I'll show a little bit data about the academic research, the publication trend, and then also correlate it with the patents. Just for the audience, if they are not aware of the microbiome, just to introduce it, the human microbiome is basically a composition of bacteria, fungi, protozoa, and viruses. It's a combination of all working together as an operational units in our human body to give some functional consequences, which could be pathogenic and which could be good for our body. And so it has a huge impact. Recent studies are showing that it has a huge impact on human health. And in very simple terms, the number of cells in our body versus the number of microbiota exist, we call it 1:10 ratio is there. 1 cell versus 10 microbiome representation. So what you see here in this slide is basically publication trend for the in area of microbiome research. What you see here is that after 2010-11, you see increase in number of publication gradually in area of microbiome research. And in particular, why this microbiome research area was so much expanded was that because the similarly other technologies which were high throughput technologies, next genome sequencing, all those technologies were expanding, so they provided ability for us to study the microbiome because it's millions of bacteria we are sequencing and converting them into studying them. So it's traditionally different than the what we call the traditional microbiology, where we have couple of bacteria or microorganisms. We study them individually. It's millions of bacteria working together and providing some physiological effects. What you see on the left side is how those research areas are categorized. Means when you go to PubMed, this or any public database, so some of the categories are like bacterial communities, review articles are there, gut is major focus, and then I as mentioned that the sequencing technologies, because this area expanded, helping us to do better in terms of knowing more about microbiome. And also gut microbiota. What you see on the other side of this is that within each category, how this were further expanded or subcategorized. This is what you see in the outer layer of this diagram. So key message here is that there is an increase in trend in research in area of gut microbiome. So now I will show you data for how this patenting of that research, how that research is moving. So as we have a research, what we want to do is we will go for the patenting, or if something is unique. So here there is a significant overlap in area of what we saw in previous slide here. So people are developing bacterial strains specific for specific functions. Effective amount, the amount of microbiome you can manipulate within body, some pharmaceutical studies with the microbiome, any method of delivering microbiome or composition of microbiome. People are also studying milk microbiome. And as I mentioned, the gut microbiome or GI tract is one of the hot area of microbiome research. If you see the patenting publication by year, as I mentioned earlier in the research data, you see a significant increase after 2013-14 in the patenting. In one of the key countries which are leading in this area is you see blue line is the United States. So United States, and then there is another thing is WIPO or European Patent Office. So means in Europe and United States are the two focus area right now, working aggressively in area of microbiome research. As I mentioned, so this is what you see is the top 20 countries in area of microbiome research in a more geographically. What you see here is basically US is the major focus, and then Europe. You see in Europe, Australia, they are among top 20 countries where research or inventive activity is happening. So how do we use this knowledge of patent in area of microbiome research or microbiome patenting? So what I see here, if you see here is the, and on the right side is the list of top 20 leaders in area of microbiome research, and they're translating this research to start making a companies and bringing product in the market. What you see here is a quadrant with the left side is a followers or entrants. So we also define them as startups, right? And here, once the startup situation on this side, what you see are the companies which have money, resources to play in area of microbiome research. But these are the entrants which are coming up with the new technologies and other new features. Now they move towards further right, and they are, because as you might be aware, that 90% of the startups fail from their starting. So as you move further and you stabilize yourself, so you are the potential buyers because you want your technology is established, but you don't have enough funds to move on. So you want either potential buyers to come to you with your technology and acquire the company, or they are the another category in this, say, Nestle. We see here they don't need new technologies, or they have enough resources, so they are the kind of players. They're quite independent in area of microbiome research in food and nutrition. Another important thing is we want to see what are the subject areas these companies are expanding, and is there any overlap between two companies in diversifying or coming together. So here what you see in this diagram, just we'll talk about top 5 companies. It seems from here that the companies have a special niche, and in particular area, some companies are focusing in particular area, while in another area, say in metabolic disorder, Nestle is leader, and in other area of immune system and this, you have evolved biosystems. So all the companies acquiring unique technologies and expanding in particular area. So this is, it looks like microbiome space is very diverse, but very unique application of each diversity where the companies or research is expanding. So once we have a company, we have research, we have patents. So next step is how the research is taken to next level of that is translational side before coming to patient. So microbiome research is regulated. That's the important thing to know. And it is regulated in US by FDA, and same way other regulatory authorities are in other parts of the world. So what you see here, the trials going on in different parts of world on microbiome research. So this clearly correlates with our patenting data, inventive activity, as well as the research thing that US is leading in this area, followed by other area, Europe, and there are few trials going on in India as well, and China is another area. In particular, they are more focusing in an area of GI infections. So these are the key areas if you want to further categorize them in nutrition space. Where this area of microbiome and nutrition research is heading. So it could be nutritional disorder, obesity, digestive system, metabolic things, pediatric obesity, and glucose metabolism. And okay, so I would like to just end my presentation here. And here is with the Dr. Sharma, and I have been collaborating in the area of microbiome. And this is our publication. This are part of some data was presented in internet in the food technologist International Food Technologist Conference here in US, and blog was published. And this paper is also published in the area of patent landscape. and the data this data is last accessed was in November 2019. So there might be some more new advancement in this area.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir, for your precious time shared with us. Because as I know, you have a very busy schedule and it's a quite odd time also at your place. It is very tedious to coordinate with us, but you have given.
No, it's my pleasure to participate in this activity, and I will take any questions if there are audience want any.
And you have delivered a lot, sir. We have learned a lot also, and we will try to go forward to reserve the rights in the terms of invention, copyrights, and definitely it will be also a part of entrepreneurship for the scientists who is working on the same lines. If they get install the patents, then after the selling, they can earn a lot, so that not only the things can be compiled in the papers, it is necessary to us that we have tried to make it patentable.
Yeah.
In line, yes, sir.
Yeah,
Even though we are trying, yeah, yes, sir. We are trying here in our department, and yearly we are getting a number of patents also. And I wish to inform you here, sir. Yesterday I got published one patent in our favor, even though it was a collaborative patent. We have tried to compile and then it has been published. And in our department, more than 12 patents right now in its crown. And if any question from the audience, invited guests, faculty members, then it's most welcome, sir. Any question from anybody? Okay, sir. So I feel you have not left any corner to ask any question for the audience.
I try to make it simplified way. That's what I was thinking.
You have collaborated in means compiled in such a way to the microbiology, microbiomes, gut microbiota, and we are the microbiologist here, so everybody enjoyed this. I would like to invite co-convener of the event, Professor Raj Singh sir, kindly felicitate Professor A.K. Sharma sir for his nice presentation. Professor Raj Singh sir, please.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Anil sir.
Yeah, good morning. Just call me Anil.
सर मैं आपसे पहले मिल चुका हूँ. नहीं कंफ्यूजन है सर, यहाँ पर एक्चुअली लिखा हुआ था. तो मैं अनिल शर्मा के साथ मिला था आपसे पहले एक बार. Clear cut information about the patent. Hello.
I think voice disconnect.
Hello, sir. Are you getting me?
Wrong with the voice.
हाँ जी सर, आवाज आ रही है.
I can hear now.
Yes, sir. We continue, sir.
इधर इंटरनेट के. हाँ, yes sir. Sir, with Anil Sharma sir, Yamuna Hello.
Yes sir. I feel some.
Hello. कोई नहीं sir.
Raj sir.
Hello. Yes sir. Now I can hear. There is something wrong with the. I think.
कोई नहीं. Your.
So, thank you so much, sir, for giving the.
Maybe sir इधर network का कोई problem हो सकता है. But sir इधर. Hello.
Yep.
आ रही है आवाज?
Yeah. Right now, is coming.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you, sir, for your lecture and nice information and excellent information about the patent.
Yeah, welcome. And I would also like to thank you everyone for inviting me.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So, dear friends, students, and invited speakers, it's a time to be a short break for 5 minutes. I suppose
sir.
not 5 minutes. We have with us the next speaker, Dr. Deepti Sharma from INMAS DRDO, Delhi. She will deliver his outstanding and excellent finding at the Center Defense Research and Development Organization. So we are now inviting to Dr. Deepti Sharma. If getting my voice, then please share your views. And now I wish to invite Mr. Siddharth Dan. Please say a few words and introduce about our next speaker, Dr. Sharma. So please. Please unmute yourself, Mr. Siddharth. Mr. Siddharth, please unmute.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, start again.
Thank you so much, Dr. Anil Kumar Sharma, sir. Now the next session is delivered by Dr. Deepti Sharma, Department of CVR and Defense, Institute of Nuclear Medicine and Allied Science, Defense Research Development Organization, Delhi. She also
Mr. Siddharth,
yes, sir.
I
Yes.
suppose you have to start the meeting, then you have to introduce and we continue.
Okay, sir.
Because in the midterm we will lost the
2
meeting
minutes
of the
is left.
Sharma madam. Yeah, just a minute. Yeah.
Okay.
Start recurrent meeting. Okay.